Hello everyone. So recently in this month, there was discussion about there being a masculinity month in July that elevates masculinity and puts it on the spotlight. And this idea is one that was created by SEE, Successful Endeavors, the greatest master wrench, and has many benefits in my opinion. And right now, the goal is to raise awareness for it, so that it's more popular and widespread. To date, this was done via community posts and or comments on live streams, but I think we can do better, so I'm making this video. As I support this idea and wish it to succeed, I will list the 5 reasons why I support and endorse it, and with that being said, let's begin. Reason number 1, it counters the ongoing demonization of masculinity in the mainstream. In the mainstream, be it in media or culture or other such things, masculinity is often demonized or called toxic and portrayed as a bad thing, and despite the intentions of some intersectional feminists to only call out parts they don't like, many who are radical feminists go so far as to see it in its entirety as toxic. This, along with the bastardization of masculinity by making it performative, as is done by the likes of Andrew Tate, Tristan Tate, Clavicular, Myron Gaines, and all other influencers like them, remains the greatest threat to masculinity thus far, and needs to be countered. By creating a month where masculinity is put at the forefront, real and authentic masculinity is allowed to thrive, and we stop its degradation in the mainstream. We will be able to showcase to the world what masculinity is all about, how it works, and that it is not toxic in the way people are misled by the mainstream into thinking that it is. Reason number 2, it allows us to celebrate as well as talk about an independent male identity that is for us in bias. Since the very start of this philosophy, the one thing MGTOW has always advocated for and promoted was the idea of men having their own identity that serves their own interests. To be more specific, it was about them having their own identity that is actually for them for once, and not for the sake of others and whatever desires or wants these others might have. Before MGTOW, any form of masculinity or male identity and expression that existed was there primarily for the benefit of others, most notably women. We see this with attacks on male-only spaces, and with the insistence that we bend our ways of life and our values to what is expected of us in society, and that we are meant to be subservient, and that masculinity is just an expression of subservience towards gynocentrism. However, this is not something that was left unnoticed. When the MGTOW Manifesto was written in 2001, one of the important things in terms of masculinity that was discussed and written was about opposing chivalry and the disrespect of men in general, as well, but stated indirectly, male disposability itself. Those who created MGTOW believed there was a better way, and that masculinity was not intended to exist for the benefit of others, but rather for the benefit of us men. The celebration of our right to have a form of masculinity that is for us, and not for the benefit of others, is why I support Masculinity Month, and why I see it as important for us. And why we need to establish it. Reason number 3, it gives us a summer holiday. Unless you're in Australia, New Zealand, or South America, and maybe South Africa where seasons are reversed, most if not all MGTOW holidays and holidays for men in general are in the winter. International MGTOW Day, International MGTOW Week, and MGTOW Awareness Month are all in February, and thus for those of us in the Northern Hemisphere, including myself, are in the winter time where it's colder and also snowing. As such, the times we would have to celebrate being MGTOW and to enjoy a holiday are all in the winter, where summertime activities such as going to the beach or going outside to enjoy the sunlight, as well as traveling to other destinations, including foreign countries, is less likely. Masculinity Month, as both a holiday and a month to raise awareness about masculinity and MGTOW, fixes this, as it would give us MGTOWs a holiday in the summer, as well as in the winter, allowing us to enjoy life and enjoy a great time in warmer climates, instead of being in the cold where you have to stay inside to keep warm. Despite the recent heat waves in Europe, and believe me, they were really hot, I believe there is still value in the summer season and warmer climates, so I'm happy to support Masculinity Month as a holiday and a month to raise awareness. Anything that gives us MGTOWs more holidays and awareness months is objectively a good thing. Reason number 4, it lines up nicely with Men's Mental Health Awareness Month. If Men's Mental Health Awareness Month is in June, and this Masculinity Month is in July, then those 2 months line up perfectly with each other, each bringing issues and/or general culture men experience and relate to in the forefront. Because they line up perfectly with each other, instead of overlapping or happening at separate times, leaving gaps, there is a full 2-month period of time that is about us men, and that can be used to not only push men's issues forwards, but also MGTOW forwards. This is a genius move that would result in the extra growth of MGTOW being ensured, and in MGTOW winning as a result. I believe we should support this as it means 2 months worth of time that we could dedicate to MGTOW and men in specific, and 2 months we could use to make the average person think about masculinity and men's issues that they otherwise would ignore. I support Masculinity Month for this reason, and as I believe we shouldn't pass up this opportunity to make MGTOW grow further and grow stronger. Reason number 5, it gives us in the MGTOW community something to unite over and come together. In the current day, the MGTOW community tends to be divided, and there is infighting, as well as disagreements and quarrels between individuals in this community. Because of that, there is very little people actually unite over, which is why this holiday, Masculinity Month, might just be the key to solving this problem. If we have a month to celebrate masculinity, which is something most of us have in common, and is an expression of our culture and ways of life, then we have something that us MGTOWs can unite over, even if only briefly, instead of being divided all of the time. This month is our chance to put aside our differences and quarrels and come together in celebration of what is common to us and what we're proud of, and what is part of us. It is also our chance to showcase to men and boys in general that being masculine is nothing to be ashamed of, or that it's somehow toxic or that needs to be hidden. That it is okay to be masculine and to have masculine interests, and that there is value in being masculine. This should be an obvious position that is understood, but sadly it isn't due to the mainstream, and sadly it's not common sense. So we should use this month to set aside our differences and use it as an opportunity to stand as one and hammer that point home. In conclusion, when evaluating the benefits versus the costs of Masculinity Month, there are clear benefits, and these benefits shouldn't be ignored. We have an opportunity to fix many of our problems as well as increase awareness of men's issues in general in the wider public, and as such, we should take it. We should have a Masculinity Month and implement it everywhere in MGTOW, just as those who came before us did the same with International MGTOW Day a decade ago. Due to the benefits MGTOW stands to gain, supporting Masculinity Month and spreading it is the MGTOW first position. We should do it, and it would be the right thing to do, and if we do it, we stand to make MGTOW better, stronger, and more influential. So this is why I support the idea, and to everyone watching, I wish you all a very happy Masculinity Month. And with that being said, this has been Igor MGTOW and Video Games. Like and subscribe and click the bell notifications on YouTube if you enjoyed the video, and follow me on odyssey.com, MGTOW.tv, Twitter, Blue Sky, and Rumble, and join my Discord server, and bye bye. Thanks for watching.